main reason why poor countries struggle with their economic growth is because of their growth rate. If we take a look at the textbook's example of Nigeria and Turkey, their growth rate isn't far from each other. Nigeria has only a growth rate of 0.5 and Turkey has their growth rate of 2.7. It may not seem like a big difference, but if we look at the changes in their GDP from 1960 to 2016, we can see a significant change. In 1960, Nigeria's GDP was 3,970, and by 2016, it went up to 5,266. If we take a look at Turkey's GDP in 1960, it was only 4,628, and in 2016, it jumped up to 20,431. There are four main factors that affect a country's growth rate. These four factors are the failure to enforce the rule of law, the wars and revolutions that a country goes through, the poor public education and health that a country has, and the low rates of saving and investments that a country has. The failure to enforce the rule of law just means that the government isn't able to enforce the laws of its country. For the sake of the question being answered, the government isn't able to enforce laws that protect private properties, or they don't enforce any contracts. Without these enforced contracts, things will move too slowly. Things move slowly just because people don't trust each other, and so they do it face-to-face. When they do it face-to-face, it does end up taking a lot of time, and it slows the transaction that they need in order to expand. Secondly is the wars that a country experiences and the government changes that they go through. Since there's so much instability within the government, it makes it difficult for countries when they want to expand and increase their capital. Next is the poor and public education and health system that poor countries have. So in poor countries, poor education system leads to many people being unable to read and write, and therefore they wouldn't have the right skills to complete certain tasks. Lastly would be that the countries have low rates of saving and investment. When a household has low income, it makes it difficult for them to save money because most or even all of their pay will go to basic necessities. Since there is low money being saved, it also means that there is no money that firms can borrow from. No money for firms to borrow from means that they can't invest in physical capital that is needed for growth. Since the economy isn't able to grow, income in households remains low, and honestly, this just creates a big loop. Policy that might be able to help with these issues is the promotion of technological change. Governments can do this through foreign direct investments, and when governments do this, it allows foreign firms to build new facilities or foreign firms to buy domestic firms. This lets them bring better technology into developing countries to use.